So here we are, day 2 of our surprise explosion box. Now yesterday we cut out the lid, the box, and the decoration and used our digital paper in many different ways that we were able to create some gorgeous looking boxes. Now I have put mine together. I'm just going to hit the demo table here. So I used some different digital papers. So as you can see, we got some beautiful box decor going on here. We have the clocks, we have everything else. And of course, if I take these apart, we have all of the general pieces ready. Now, what we need to do this time is now we are going to work on some ephemera that's going to go on the inside of all 4 corners of each and every box. Today, we're not putting it together, but we are simply going to be having it ready to go so that on day 3, when we put everything together, it is going to look absolutely gorgeous. Now we have the first part put together, so that's going to be the easy, but planning the box ephemera and cutting that ephemera is going to be the big thing for today. So let's go over to Design Space where we left off yesterday. And we have left off when we had all of the parts that we were cutting out. I have grouped these together now and called them box covering, and I am just going to hide them for now so that we have everything that we've worked on in the layers panel, but it is not going to affect what we're going to do today. So today we need to bring in a lot of the ephemera that is part of the template. So we had some journal cards here. That's ephemera pack 03. And I had another one here, ephemera pack 01. And I'm just going to scroll. I'm going to put those on the canvas right now because we have to work on these a little bit at a time. Now you'll notice I get those exclamation marks. I'm just going to auto resize both of them because we're going to resize them as we need them anyway. So we have 2 packs here. Now the big thing here is we must cut these apart in order to get to each of the individual things. Now these are called journal cards, and that's a belly band, a couple of tags, a postcard, and another belly band here. So I'm just going to slide this one all the way over. What we want to do is cut these out, and I'm just going to grab a square. My square is a favorite thing to go ahead and why is it moving on me? Okay, let me just bring in another square. Get rid of the one that made a nuisance of itself. It should be locked together, and yes, it is. All right, I'm just going to click this little arrow here that you see. Hopefully you can see my cursor, and just move that in so I can start working with this square. Just going to cover over top and just move it into position here. I want to make sure I'm not touching anything else. I'm going to duplicate this and bring it over to the next one. Then I'm just going to duplicate it and bring it over top. I'll do the same thing with this, just duplicate it and bring it over top. And I don't see any edges poking out, which is perfect. I don't have to cover the top one because it is automatically cut out. So just first one, slice, second one, slice, third one, slice, and last one down here, slice. Now, all I have to do is pull out the pieces I'm going to keep. 1, 2, 3, and the other one is hiding back here. So I'm just going to move this out of the way and grab that. Move that out of the way, and you'll see this one comes out by itself. Just going to highlight all of these squares and hit the delete key. All right, we have our first thing of ephemera. These are our journal cards. I'm just going to bring them all together here, just like this. And I'm just going to group them. I'll just call it ephemera 1. And that way I can just keep track of where it is on the screen. I can bring it down. All right, I have another pack over here that we are going to cut apart. Now, these aren't the first ones. We're going to have more to cut apart. but I just want to deal with it 2 at a time. Once again, I'll go over here to my shapes, and I'm just going to bring in my square, close the shapes panel. This time I am going to unlock it. So come up here to size, if you can see my cursor here, and unlock. Bring this down. All right, I'm going to duplicate this over to here. And believe it or not, I'm going to duplicate over to the edge here. Bring it a little closer and just bring it down. And then I don't have to worry about the postcard. All right, let's highlight the first 2. Slice. Highlight the next 2. Slice. And then just grab these last 2 and slice. Now we have our postcard. We have our belly band. We have our tag. And then, of course, hiding back here is our other tag. Perfect. All right, now I can get rid of all of these extra pieces. Delete those. Grab those together. And I'm just going to group them. And this time I'll just call them ephemera 2. And this just helps me keep myself a little bit organized. Now we need to bring some more ephemera in. Now we just brought in the first 2. Let's view all. Just going to come down here. There are a couple here. We have, of course, our box decor, which we've used before. I'm going to bring that in. I'm going to bring in a set of belly bands and tags that I had. And is there anything else I want to bring in? Well, I will bring in the digital paper a little later, but we have this one, is ephemera pack 02. That has to go on the screen as well. I will get the digital paper later. All right, let's view our canvas. And of course, I'm going to have one of these that's going to be way too big, which is this one. And then I have all of my tags. And these ones are just grouped right now, so we'll worry about those in a minute. Let's just get the last of our ephemera here and let's cut this apart. Perfect. So now I've got a bunch of things that we can use readily. Now we have all of these other components. And these are all different kinds of tag shapes and things that you can use, and they are already in a group so that we will be able to access those as we need. They're all individual items. So I'm just going to leave them as is in a group for now. Now, one last group I want to take a look at is this one. So let me just move these out of the way. Not this one. I want to move this one out of the way. It's just because I want to get to all the parts and pieces that we need out of this. Now, first thing I'm going to do is ungroup this. Now, we've already dealt with these top 3, so I'm just going to delete those. And then we have a bunch of other shapes. We have these pockets that we're going to be using. If I grab this one, just move it up a bit. We've got 4 different kinds of pockets here. Just grab these. And I have 3 different folded things that we can use. So I've got pockets, I've got little triangle corners we can use. And they're all geared to different shapes, sizes to fit on the various different boxes that we have. We always have small, middle, large. And of course, there's a small, middle, large. And this one is an extra large one that we had. If I click on that and click the down arrow here, you'll see at the very top here, I have the box decor, and this is in red here. And if you remember with red, that is a score line. And I'm just going to click on the group here again. I'm going to attach that. And this is extra large. And then of course, we have the large pocket down here that comes up as box decor. Once again, I just want to click on that, get the red, get it into a score line. This time I'm just going to leave it as a group, and there's a reason for that. I will do the same with the middle one here. Anyway, so let's go to this next one. I'm going to do the same thing. I just want to get that as a score line. Leave it as a group, and this is the middle pocket. Now we'll do the same with this bottom one here. So now we have all our pockets ready. Now we have corner pieces that we are going to be using on each, and we're going to do some planning about what we want for each piece. So we've got these already. Now these ones also have, these are the folded pieces. So we have folded pieces. So the small one up here, of course, at the very top, we have our score line. Now it's still a group. So I'm just going to call this small fold. I'm just leaving it as a group. I have not attached anything. This one is the middle fold. Click here, go score line. Grab that together, rename this. This is the middle fold. And of course down here we have the large fold. Once again, score lines. And I know this takes a little bit of time getting your score lines all put together. Just click on the group. And that's just so we can find things when we need them. All right, let's just grab these over here. And I'm just going to group these for now. And I'm just going to call this pockets and folds, just so I know what they are. Just move those over. Now, the last thing I'm going to bring in here are all of these tags. Now, the interesting thing about the tags, they are spaced apart, and these are belly bands down here. So I'm just going to ungroup them for now. So we have all kinds of different tag shapes that we can use here, and I'm just going to group them a little closer together because you can pick and choose from all of these what you want to be able to do for tags. So these are all going to be ready for our cutouts and whatever we want to do with them. Just going to bring them up a little closer together so it's easy to see everything in one place. And then of course these are our 3 belly bands. I'm just going to group these together. I'm going to group the belly bands and just call them belly bands. And then I can group the rest of this and just call it tags. And I like to group things just so I can find them. So it gives us lots of options here. Now there's a lot to take in here. We have tags, we have belly bands, we have pockets, and then we have some other ephemera that's all ready to go. We just have to size it and make sure it's going to fit. We have 3 different ones that we're going to be working with. Now, the big key here is we have to plan what we want inside of each box. So I'm going to take you over to the demo table for a second. You can see the things that we've, put together right now. These are the boxes that we have worked on. Just move them out of the way. I'm going to bring in our sample one that we had. Now, I'm going to start with the small box. One of the things I didn't have you do last time was cut out an extra piece. So if you have some scrap paper, you can cut out that extra piece. So in planning for this one, this is the key. You need to write this down somewhere where you're going to do the planning. Now, I usually use just a simple little piece of 3M paper, the planning. I need 9 squares, so I need 1 more of these squares that's going to go here. I have a triangle, which is this little piece down here, and a fold that goes inside it. I've got a fold, and then I've got a little piece of ephemera that fits inside that. So we know by writing that down, we are going to be able to figure out what we want on this one. So we have a small fold and a small piece that goes inside. Now on this side, we have a belly band, and we have a tag that goes inside that's going to fit. So I have written that down on my sheet of paper, a belly band and a tag. Next one over here is a pocket that is glued on. And then inside, I have the little tabbed fold piece that's going to fit in there. And the last one over here is one of the folds, but it's glued at the bottom and the side, so it only opens a little bit, and inside is a tag. And maybe wondering all the little pieces. Well, you're going to write greetings on the back of these little tags. Inside the one that we put here, you're going to write a greeting, and that'll be all part of putting it all together. So that is the plan for, of course, the small box. So that is a small box. Make sure you have it handy, because we're going to have to go back to Design Space and then cut all of these different things out. And then we're going to do the same with the medium one. So now the small one, and we will do that in Design Space. The next one, of course, is our medium one. And of course, I have that all written out as well. And on our medium one, we needed the 8 squares, which are already done and glued in paper. We want one pocket and a fold. So we have our pocket, which is over here. And it has a fold inside that matches it, so you can do different things. Oh, and I put a second little fold inside, and of course you're going to put some greetings in those. So that is the pocket and the fold. Now we also have a triangle piece that goes here. As you can see, the triangle piece. And inside is a folded belly band, believe it or not, and a tag. So we can pick any kind of tag and a folded belly band. And that's written on here. Over on this side, we have a belly band itself. And then we have not just a single piece, but we have a large fold that's going to fit inside here. And of course, that will have a greeting. And over on this side, we have the tabbed piece, and I did it on a different digital paper. It has a place to write, and inside it has a little folded piece as well. So that is for our medium. And this is the planning. Now let's find our medium lid here, which is over here. Just get that on. There we go. All right, now of course we're planning on the large one, which is next. And it had its 8 squares, so I'm going to start over here. Now I've done something different here. What I did is I took a small strip, just a flat one, and cut a V into it so that I could fit a nice tabbed large card. So you can see that's going to fit in here, so that is part of my plan. This one I also did a flat piece that goes side to side, but I didn't put a little dip in it, but I have a little fold out that fits in, and this is where my 4 journal cards are going to fit in. So these are the journal cards. They're going to fit inside there, and of course the journal cards you can write on the back if you want, or have them two-sided, and then a little note that fits in with that. The plan on this side is our triangle fold. And I'll just move this down a little bit, and I put in one of these cards and a tag. And I write them all down on my little paper, and then the last one here is a pocket, and it has a big tag that fits in. You have to be able to reach these and grow them out. So that is the plan for our large box. So our big job today, of course, is to take our plan. There we go. Take our plan now of all these plans and start making them. So I'm going to bring these over to my desk so that we can go into the Design Space and start working on cutting all of these pieces out. Now we have a ton of stuff here. We have tags, we have all kinds of things. So I'm going to suggest we start working on, of course, cutting all the stuff out for the small box. Now, I said we needed an extra square, and I know I deleted that extra square piece. So I'm actually going to bring that one back in because we missed getting that extra square. And then just come back down here, view all. I need this piece back in. I'm going to add it to the canvas, going to view it. Now it's going to be all over the place. So let me just grab all these extra pieces and just slide them over. And I'll just bring this up. And this was a small piece, so I just needed this. So I'm just going to ungroup this. I'm going to grab the piece I want right here. And then, of course, I'm going to take all the extra pieces here. I'm just going to delete them. And I got 2 more to delete here and delete those. So I only have the extra piece that I need to cut out for the bottom of the small box. Now I can decide what kind of digital paper I want it to go on if I pre-print it, or I can add my patterns in. So we know for the small one, I needed one of these. Now I also on my list had 1 triangle and a small fold. So we don't need the belly band right now. So we need a small triangle. It's not in these. It is in these pieces right here. So let me ungroup these. This is going to get a little bit messy, but we're going to organize things here. So there's that small triangle. And as you can see, I'm just lining things up that I am going to need. And I need a belly band. So my belly bands are here. I'll just ungroup these. I need a belly band. I'm just going to line things up. Just move these over a bit. I need a belly band and I need a tag. So I can pick on any kind of tag that I want. My tags are all here. And as I'm ungrouping them, you'll notice that everything just sort of goes together the way it is. Now, the kind of tag I want, let's go for this tag right now. Now, I don't want a hole cut in my tag, so I'm going to come over here to contour. I'm going to hide all contours, and now I have the tag that I want here. So I have my belly band, I have my square that goes down the middle, I have my triangle, and I need a small fold, which is this one. Triangle with a small fold. I need the belly band and a tag. I've got that. Next is a pocket and a tabbed fold. So I need a small pocket, which is this one. So I'll scroll down here. Now I need a tabbed fold. Now over here, let me just bring this to the front. This will get fairly messy. You'll notice that I have a tabbed item here. So let's ungroup this. Let's get really messy here. I'm going to want one of these. So I'm just going to hold down the Alt key. And this is going to fit in that pocket. So the biggest problem with this right now, of course, is the fact that it is way too large. So I'm going to have to just drag it down till I think that it's going to fit inside and just poke up a small amount. And there we go. Now, I don't necessarily want this pattern on it, but I will take it for now because we are just lining things up. Pocket with a fold, and then a fold glued at the bottom with a tag. Now, this is a small fold that's going to go in here. I'm going to grab a medium, but I'm going to take a copy of it. And I just have to make sure that it's going to fit okay within my parameters, and that looks pretty good. I'm just measuring up a case. So this is a fold that's going to glue across the bottom, and I need another tag that's going to, of course, fit inside there. And let's just let's grab this tag, and once again I want to come over here and contour and hide all contours so that I have a tag that's going to fit in here. I don't want it too big, so I'm just going to reduce it a bit just so it pokes out a small amount. And there we go. Now that's what we had planned when we looked at all of the other pieces. So this is all the stuff that I want for the small. So let me just grab everything that we had on here. Have to add a shift click here. Shift whole thick. There, I think we've got it all. I'm going to group it. Just move it around, make sure I've got it all. Yes, I did. All right, I'm going to put up here small box ephemera. So I've got small box ephemera. So we are all ready with this one. We have this one planned out. I'm just going to bring it down here. We'll find it because we have it up here. Now, we also now want to go ahead and grab everything we need for the medium. So we did our 8 squares, no problem. I need a pocket and a fold. All right, so let's go up here. We want a middle pocket. That looks like this one here. And we need a fold. That's a large fold. This looks like a medium fold. Now this is going to be a little bit too small. I'm going to make a copy of it, just put it over here. This fold's going to be a little bit too small, and the fact that it's small is not going to poke up over here. So I'm just going to grow it a little bit so it pokes up just a little bit. All right, so we have one of the items ready. The next one, we needed that triangle. Now I know I have a couple of triangles back here. There's the other one. I want to make sure I get the right one. Triangle looks about right. Got a triangle. Now in our triangle we wanted a tag and a small fold. Okay, so let's pick another tag. I'm going to suggest we use one like this. Now this is going to be too big. I just want to make sure that it's going to fit in here. I'm just going to shrink it down a little bit so it'll fit within our medium. I'll just measure it against this. There we go. We have now a tag and we want a small fold. So I'm just going to grab this and make a copy of it. So we have a tag and a small fold that are going to go in. That's 2 sides we've got. Next one is a belly band and a large fold. So let's grab our medium belly band here. And we have a large fold that we want. Just going to grab that. Just going to hit the Alt. And that large fold should fit okay within our pieces. I just bring it up here. Yes, it will. So we have a belly band and a large fold. And then the next one is a tabbed and a small fold. So once again, we're going to make a copy of our tabbed. And of course, we're going to have to make it a lot smaller. Just bring it down. Because it's folded over, we should be okay with that. We have our tabbed. And we want a small fold. So let's grab this fold, make a copy. Just bring it down. We have lots of folds on this one. So that looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's just grab all of this. I'll hold the Shift key down for this one and this one. Let's be able to group it. And we will call this is the middle box, middle ephemera. All right. Now I can bring that down out of the way as well. We have our small and our middle. Oh, it looks like I missed one piece off of this one and it didn't come in. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to move this over like this. I'm going to make sure I grab that last piece. Okay, it doesn't want to move. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the piece we missed. That's the middle fold. And you'll notice we have the middle ephemera. I'm just going to drag it up and go inside the middle ephemera. We got the middle fold. It still doesn't want to go in there. Okay, so I want to grab all of those pieces. It ungrouped them. I'm sorry, I'm going to undo this. All right, we have the extra piece here, so let me just move this down. I'm just going to move this over slightly so I can see it. There we go. We have this one, and shift click this one. Just want to make sure we have everything together there. Now I am going to make sure that is grouped, and I'll grab this together, and this is middle ephemera. It can get fairly confusing. Okay, so we have the small here, and we have the middle here. Now we need to put together our last piece, and this is all in the planning, for our large. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to drag things over, and then we're going to take care of the decorations. All right, for our large, we need the 8 squares. We've done that. I need a pocket. So we can take this pocket, and that's the pocket large. You can tell what it is over here, and that's why I like to label things. So we need a large pocket, and we need a tag. So we do have some tags over here we could use. I'm going to ungroup this and just move it over. And let me grab one of these tags. That might be a cool tag, but we have another one hiding underneath here. Here's a tag as well. Maybe I'll move this one over. Okay, so we need a pocket here, and we need the tag. And I can see by the outline that it's a little bit too big. So I'm just going to shrink it down a bit so it's going to fit in but poke out. I am going to unlock this one because I want it a little bit wider, probably about here, and a little bit shorter just so it pokes out. All right, so I have my pocket. Now I have my tag over here that I'm going to use. I'm going to lock it into place. Now I'm not making duplicate copies as I go through here. Okay, so that is one side. Now let's come down here. We want a triangle and a tag and a card. So we need to find that extra triangle. And we want another tag. So why don't I just grab this tag and I'll reduce it down a bit. Just want to make sure it's going to fit within the realm though. It's a bit too small. Grab it this way. Grab my tag back down here. So I want a tag, and what else did I want in there? I wanted a card. So I'm thinking maybe a small card. So I'll just make a copy of this one. All right, so we have 2 sides ready. On the third side, I wanted a half square for the journal cards and a small fold. All right, so I want a small fold for sure, so I'm going to do an Alt. Need the small fold. We wanted the journal cards, which I didn't bring in yet, so we can do that in a second. We also wanted here sort of a half page. So what I want to do, of course, is take a look at what we have for a half page that can go through on this, and let's just see what we've got over here. I might use this one, but I'm not sure yet. It's going to fit sort of halfway across. What I can do is I can just take a square. I'm going to grab a square, and I'm going to unlock it. And what I want to do is just make it slightly bigger than this. And I can always trim the edges later. Just slightly bigger and down. Let me move it to the back. So I can see where this fits. Let me just move this out of the way. Slightly bigger. All right, but I need it to be halfway. So I'm just going to grab this down about halfway. Now I'm going to need 2 of these because what's going to happen, I need one with a hole and one without because of the next plan that we had. So let me just drag this down here now. So this is going to be a half. It's going to come through. And this one I need to fold, so I'm going to just duplicate this and bring it down here because what I want with one of these is to have a little circle in the center. So let me just grab an ellipse here. I'm just going to, let's make this a little bit smaller. Now remember, this is the planning stage. I'm just going to bring this down. I want to make sure it is then aligned, but I want it center horizontally. Well, that looks really good. I'm going to grab both of those and I'm going to slice them. So now I've got my piece with the hole and I don't need either of these. I can delete them. So this is the one I wanted with the hole in it. And if I make it slightly bigger, that's just fine. It's going to glue into place. And then of course I have the next one below. So now for this third one, we have the half square and we have the journal cards and a small fold. So I'm going to have to bring in the journal cards in a moment. What I want to do is just drop down this. Oh, this one, I've got it backwards. I want it this way. I want it because the journal cards are going to fit inside here. So it's a full width with a tabbed large fold. So I'm going to bring this. Just going to make sure that it is small enough to fit. And what I usually do is I judge it against this one. So this is a tabbed fold. As long as it's not too big, I'm going to bring it like this. And that looks really good. All right, so I can bring this because this folds in half as well and just sits inside there. So that will be good for this one. So the one piece we are missing, of course, is our journal cards. And I think I have them ready for upload. So let's go over here. Let's grab an upload. And we do have our journal cards. It's ephemera pack 03. So we've already got it on inside here, but we've got it hidden. Let's go down here, way down here. Let's see what was in ephemera 01. That is our journal cards. Great. So let's just show them on the screen. There we go. I'm just going to find out where they went. There we are. Just going to bring those over. Now you'll notice how messy our screen is getting. So I'm just going to bring these in. What I want to do is just take all this extra stuff that we've got here. See if I've got it all. Okay, that's one set. I'll just group this for now and just slide it out of the way. We may or may not need it. I just want my desktop here to be cleaner. So let me, that is a, oh, that's middle ephemera. I don't want that. And that's the small ephemera. Okay, I think we're good. I'll just move these back up here. These are small and medium. And then all the other messy stuff is over there. So I think we're good to go now. I'll just bring this over here. All right, we have our journal cards, and that was the next piece I wanted to take a look at. And of course, this has a belly band attached with it as well. So let me just bring it down here. Let's ungroup it. I'll take my belly band over here, and here are our journal cards that will cut out exactly like this. And they are going to come over here. Now, what we need to do is just check it against here, make sure that they are small enough to fit inside there, and yes, they are. They're the perfect size. So now we can test, of course, the band that's going to go over top, make sure it's wide enough, and it is. So that is our journal cards. We're ready to go there. And of course, this is just going to have this with this. And now we have everything that we want right here. Let me just grab all this down here. I'm going to do the shift click thing. I just want to group it. And this is our large. I guess I'll go call it ephemera. So now we have our 3 groups that we are absolutely going to be working with to get some designs going on these. And this is an extra belly band, which I'll just leave it here for now. Now what I want to do is just take this large group of stuff that we had over here. I don't need it right now. I'm just going to hide it, but I should label it first. This is tags and more. I am going to hide it because I don't want so much stuff on my screen. Now the biggest part here is we have it all planned out. We know what's going where. Is what patterns are we going to need for each one of these. So I just shoo these over just a little bit so we have some working room. I'm going to start with the small. Now here is where our digital paper is going to come in handy, because we are going to be cutting stuff out of the digital paper, or we're going to cut this out as is onto digital paper that's been pre-printed. Now it's all one-sided stuff, so you can pre-print your digital and simply go ahead and then print, then cut everything here, which is the easiest way to do it. Or I will show you with just this one what we can do with our digital paper itself. Now we have box coverings, all kinds of things here. I didn't keep the digital paper, so let's go and upload some of our digital paper again. It should be right handy here. There's lots of sweaters. All right, we had our florals. I'm going to add that to the canvas. And let's view our canvas. I'm just going to bring one in for now. It's all set up for print then cut, but not to worry about it. Let's just shrink it down so that we can see what we're working with. Now, as before, you can simply take these pieces one by one and cut them out. So I am going to ungroup this so that I can work with it. So for the bottom, we can cut it out of any kind of paper we want. This is a belly band. I'm going to have to take this and arrange and send it to the back. Same with a tag. We're going to do just slicing of it. And let's say, let's do a pocket. Let's grab a pocket. We'll put it here. Now I'm going to have to hide the score lines in order to do this one. If we had the bottom, we could do it. We could do a belly band on here as well that can pick up a central part of the rose. And of course we could do a corner piece. Now I don't want them all coming out of the same paper because it's going to look really different. So we know we have this particular one already set because that's what we had. We have another tag and we have another belly band piece. So we can bring in another one. So what I want to do is just have you go ahead and slice these out as they would. I will grab the slice here. I'm going to do this one at a time. I don't need this anymore. I am going to delete it because I'm going to cut this out in the pieces that I want. And I'm going to arrange this. I'm going to send it to the back. And then I'm going to pick the square. Should have been at the back, but it's not. I'll just grab those two pieces. Obviously didn't grab them. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, let's grab this, arrange, send to back. Because I have another piece there. Okay. So let's just grab this out of the way for the time being. Just pull this back over here. Now I wanted this one to come across here. Now this is considered 3 items because if I grab all of them like this, you'll see I don't get the slice the way I wanted it to. So in here with the small pocket, if I hide this and grab those together, I can slice. Now I'm going to grab this and I'm going to have it reappear. Did it appear? Okay, it looks like it's there. Now I don't need the blue piece anymore, but I do need this piece, and I'm going to arrange and send it to the back, and now you can see the score lines appear. Now let me just drag this out of the way. Now we can grab this with the score lines and we can attach it, and the attach is going to be small pocket. Now that is the way that you can deal with having score lines on something and then doing the cut out. All right, I'm going to move this back over here because we have finished with it. I'm going to grab this, arrange it, and I'm going to send it to the back. And I'm just going to cut out a couple more pieces here. Let's grab this tag, highlight them both, and slice it. Now this tag is a different shape. I'm not just going to delete it because I find that if I don't, then I have too many pieces around. So let's arrange and send this to the back, and let's make a belly band as well. Let's grab that. Let's slice it. Okay, I can get rid of this, and I have this piece, and I'm going to get rid of that digital paper. So I've got quite a few of them cut out so far. I have my tab piece, I have my belly band, I have a tag, I have a pocket, and I have my triangle. I still have 4 more pieces to deal with. So I'm going to bring in another digital paper. Let's just click on View All here, and I'll bring in another one. Let's bring in one with a clock. I'm going to add it to the canvas. I'm going to view it. Once again, it's going to be too large. I'm going to click here. I'm going to auto resize it. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to leave it at this size. So I have something that needs to be on the bottom. So let me arrange this, and we'll bring that piece to the front. Now, I'm going to make a duplicate of this, and the reason I'm making a duplicate is because I want to be working with this at a different size. So let me just arrange that and send it to the back. I don't know why I want to flip up. I am going to reduce this until I know that clock is going to fit in underneath that square. And I would say that looks pretty good. Let's grab that and let's slice it. Now I don't need my square anymore. I am going to delete it. Now I have my small square. And, you know, I've got it small enough here that I can actually grab maybe this middle fold. And you see that's going to fit nicely over top of those 2 crows. Perfect. So I want to grab those 2 together. Whoops. Grab these 2 together. Now you see I've got the same problem because I have a score line in the middle. So let's just take a look at this. Let's grab this and let's arrange and send that to the back. Now I've got this piece with the middle fold. I'm going to click on that score line. I'm going to hide the score line. I'm going to grab them together and I'm going to slice. Now I don't need this. I am going to take this paper, I'm going to arrange it, send it to the back. Did it go to the back? Send. Okay, go to the back. I got to turn on my item here. So let's just grab this out of here, delete. Now I've got to just find my my small pocket here. Tags. I have to find my score line again. Okay, let me just get rid of the middle stuff here so that I'm not looking at it. Pocket large, I don't want to look at that either. Large ephemera, don't want that. I simply want to get to my score line that is behind here, but if I can't find it, not to worry, because I can move it out of the way. Let us add a score line here. And let's take this, shut this down. All right, now I want to put this one in the middle of this. I'll just move it up a small amount. Let's go ahead and center this. Align center. All right, I'm going to attach it. And of course, I'm going to name this. This is a small fold. And we have that piece ready to go. So we've got two that came out of that paper. Now we could use a different paper for the last two if we wanted to do so. I'm just gonna move this out of the way for now. So we can cut it out of the same paper, or we can bring in another one. I'm thinking bringing in another one. So I am going to get rid of this paper because it's in the way. And let's bring in one more paper here. View all. Now we do have the clock in this one. You could bring something in entirely different. Let's bring our keys in. Add it to the canvas. View it. Make it small enough. Now we have two more pieces we want to cut out. We can decide, at what size these are going to be. So let me just grab this, arrange it, and send it to the back. Now I might want just one, maybe I want the lock and a little bit here. That one looks pretty good. All right, let's grab that together. Let's slice it out of there. I can get rid of my tag now and take this one. I have one more here. And what I'm going to do is ungroup this. This is another way you can do this. Grab this, and then I can just grab this piece and pick on a couple of these locks that I think would look really cute. There's one here. Let's just grab those two pieces. Okay, I've got something hiding back here. Okay, let's move this to the back. Arrange, send to back. And I want these two pieces here. Should be able to just grab those two pieces together and grab our slice. I can get rid of this. I don't want my digital paper anymore, but now I already have my score line right here set up so I can actually see it. I'm going to take this, I'm going to arrange it, send it to the back. I can see the two of them, grab them together, align and center, and now I want to attach it. And that attach is a small fold. All right, let's just sort of review what we did here. We just took care of cutting out all the pieces we needed from digital paper, unless you're taking them as one unit. Just grab them all up here, all the pieces that we cut out. There's our triangle. There's our belly band. Now this is attached to something, so let me just ungroup it. And we have this. So those are all the pieces that we had planned and cut out. So I'm going to take this, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to group this for now. And in this group, I'm just going to call it the small ephemera that we had planned. And I'm going to put planned here. And then I can simply cut those out when I am ready. You'll notice we have a lot of stuff on the screen at this point. So now what you want to do, of course, is just bring your next group out and just repeat it. And then finally, you want to take the third. So you have your small, your medium, your large. You're simply going to cut things out or cut them out on the paper. I want you to go ahead and take that plan that you put together, how we grouped it together, and then start cutting different pieces out so you are ready to do a print then cut. Your other option, of course, is to be able to pre-print your paper and simply use it just like this, and it will just cut out on the pre-printed paper the way you want it. So that is your job for day 2, and tomorrow we will start putting everything together. So have fun with this, and I will see you tomorrow.